Wanted to provide a quick update on the Sarah Boone case. So, unfortunately, it's looking more and more likely that the April trial is going to get continued. And the reason for that is I'm going to share my screen right now. Um, is because of the battered spouse defense, which, as I've spoken about in other videos, is going to be likely the defense that Sarah Boone's defense team will need to bring. And under that defense, there's a procedural technicality that if the defense is going to bring that um, forth, they have to file a formal notice 30 days before trial. And so that 30-day period actually fell on this past weekend. And so the way the Florida rules work is that it would be the next business day. So that notice would have needed to been filed by yesterday. I just checked the docket. It's not there. So unless they filed it and it hasn't been uploaded yet on the docket, we don't have a notice by the defense that they're going to bring the battered spouse defense. And the reason that I think that means we're going to have a continuation of trial is because I think this is really the only defense she's going to be able to bring. So therefore, if we don't have a filing of the notice yet, it's probably not going to happen in April. And if you'll recall, taking a step back, I had in previous videos, I had explained that in Florida, voluntary intoxication is not a valid defense to a crime for any offense. So she's not going to be able to use the fact that she got drunk on wine as a defense. We don't have any facts here of a traditional self-defense. So this wasn't a situation where the police came and Sarah and George were in the middle of a fight, and we know that they had prior domestic violence incidents. So we don't have those facts here, and probably most tellingly is we have all of the video and her admitting that she did put him in the suitcase, and that she's kind of hanging her hat on her defenses. It wasn't intentional. So I think the battered spouse defense, one of these days I'm going to get that right. The battered spouse defense is really, I don't see anything else that she would be able to bring. So because we don't have the filing yet, my assumption is that on March 28th, so 2 weeks from today, I think we're going to see the defense say that they're not ready for trial. And that's frustrating. I'll report back, but in any event, I think that that's probably likely. And so what I'll say about that, though, is that obviously the court has an interest in moving the case along. In fact, it's in the best interest of the state and for Sarah herself, as she's mentioned in her letters. She wants this case to move forward. And so that is in everyone's best interest. But at the same time, Sarah, as a defendant, just like every defendant, has, the right to have the time to be able to craft an appropriate defense. And the fact here that we've had, her first kind of main lawyer that was allowed to withdraw last spring. And then, we had this kind of, list of attorneys that were going to be appointed for her, but they had conflicts. And so she finally gets Mr. Bankowitz appointed to her last summer. Now, to be fair, too, besides the few instances she spoke with Mr. Bankowitz last summer, it doesn't appear that much work was done last fall on her case. And so unfortunately, we're kind of in a situation here where we have to allow obviously the defendant the right to prepare for trial. The court is going to give them that right. And I mean, this is not going to go on and on. Again, the court also has the interest in moving the case forward, but I think the fact that we didn't get the notice for the battered spouse defense, coupled with the fact that it doesn't seem like a lot has gone on as far as work on her defense since Mr. Bankowitz was appointed, I think we're going to see on March 28th, the defense asking for a continuance and the judge granting it. But I do think that the judge is going to really set his foot down and say, we've got to move this case forward for the best interest of all parties. So anyway, that's the update. I'll keep you informed as always. And thank you so much for stopping by. And I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.